Okay. Hi, guys. Hello. All right. So, hi, morning all. Okay. Good morning all, and welcome. Thanks you all joining us today. So, welcome to the web.live Georgetown. And hi, I'm a GDG organizer from the GDG Georgetown. So, below this one, she's a Rachel. We say hi. Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
Yeah. Rachel, she's the PTM Georgetown, and we got two awesome speaker. So one is Win Lim, and another one is Jesselyn. So Win Lim, he is a Google developer expert. So Jesselyn, she's a developer advocate for the Google Chrome. Say hi. Hi. Hi, William. Hi, Jesselyn.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello.
All right. So because you all know, right, the COVID-19. So this year we all the events we are running in online. So we will feel more difference lah. So all right. So thanks you all. And then turning on the live stream today. However, you are in YouTube channel or in our Facebook page. So thanks you all joining us. So in these events, web.dev Live Georgetown, so we were sharing the quick tips on the aspects of the modern app for the modern web development. So and today we have the two topics. One is the advanced PWA patterns, and another one is what news in the Devtools and the Puppeteer. So all right. So before we start, let me introduce GDG Georgetown first. What is the GDG Georgetown? Okay, all right. So who we are? So GDG meaning is a Google Developer Groups, and GDG Georgetown was started since by 2013, and we are the not-profit community. But GDG Georgetown is a platform offered by the Google, and we are the independent developers and the user group that discuss and share the experience developing the application in using the Google technology, like example the Android, Google App Engine, and open source technology. Okay, so what we do over the year, we are organized the events like the iOS Standard, the Fest, Study Jam, Workshop, and Collabs. So GD chapters worldwide is now is more than 1,000 community groups. So we are so happy we are a part of it. And now I pass to Rachel. So she is a Women Tech Makers organizer. Okay, all right, Rachel.
Hi. So I'm the person in charge for Women Tech Makers in Georgetown. And what we basically do is roughly the same as GGG as well. We create a community that allows people to take part in our events and talks, workshops, coding bootcamps. So this one is not, we don't just limit only for women, but we also welcome everybody.
Oh, okay.
So we also provide lots of opportunities for you guys to join. You can just follow us. We have a lot of speakers, mainly from the GDE, the Google developer experts, and people from the industry who are really experienced. Okay, so for those of you watching on Facebook, you can just search us up on Facebook, GDG Georgetown Works. And for those who are on YouTube, you can just scan the link and you'll directly take you to the Facebook page. Okay, so let's not waste any time. Let's welcome our first speaker, Win Lin. Win, please take the screen,
Hi.
I suppose.
I've got to share my screen, right? Here, there we go. Am I having my screen now? Okay, great. So hi guys. First of all, thank you for coming to web.dev live extended GDG Georgetown. Today I will just quickly run through a bit of an idea about what we do. First of all, my name is Vin. Vin Lim. You can find me across all social media sites with the handle Vin Lim. I'm a GDE for web technology. Basically, what it means to say is we basically have to help Google promote technology. Just kidding. Right, that being said, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, as so we don't waste too much of your time and make sure that you get out what you're looking for today, I'll just quickly share with you what we will cover in the next 30 minutes or so. The first one we'll talk about is what exactly is PWA, and then we'll spend a bit on time on service worker and workbox. Then we'll come to the meat of the talk today, which is the advanced PWA patterns that was used by website across the world. And I'll also drop in some resources for you to learn on the topic after this as well. So let's move on. Web. So as you know, web it's all powerful. It's one of the most incredible platform that has derived with some of the very important criteria. For example, it's cross-platform. You can basically go to the web with any browser, any device, even from your refrigerators or from your watch as well. If you have a capable device, it's highly accessible. Meaning to say, pretty much the same thing. You can access it through any platform at any time, anywhere. It's shareable. You can just share a link to your friends and find out about what your friends is trying to share. I keep trying to crack some jokes, but I cannot see your response, so I better not. Right. So next one is now when we talk about web, generally speaking, comparing to app, right? App are more perceived to be more performance, more engaging, comparing to the web. Specifically due to some of the reasons you can see on the screen itself. For example, apps can actually open from the launcher or from your home screens, and it feels like it runs on its own. It has its own windows, and it gives the impression or the perception that it is really fast. And even when you have no internet connections, you feel safe or you feel comfortable clicking on the app icon and open up the application because you know it somehow would have some offline capabilities. At the same time, app would actually have the access to powerful capabilities, the system access, the file storage and sensors and whatnot, right? So generally what you'll feel when you have an app is that you feel like I own these applications. But when you go to a website, you tell your friends that, hey, I actually use this website, for example. So this is the kind of perceptions that was delivered to the users. So in the most conventional sense, web are regarded as having a wider or the reach due to its characteristic, as we mentioned just now. It is of instant access, it's linkable, it's shareable. And then native apps are known to have more capables. So if you can see across, look at the chart itself. On the x-axis is the reach itself, where we know that web application generally have more reach, and then the native application have better accessibility, have more capabilities in that sense. So what PWA over here try to achieve is really try to provide both the best of both worlds, having the inherited characteristic of being shareable, accessible, and whatnot. Also includes other good characteristic like installable, making the website installable in the home devices, working offline, and more engaging. So this is what PWA set out to do. At the end of the day, if we are able to deliver a good PWA applications, it's basically moving this whole applications thing towards a universal application platform. Now, once you have delivered a functional or a good PWA, if you will, you basically can run the application on any devices, and of course it can be the web application can also be installed and can also be launched from the home screen, either from your mobile devices or from your Mac laptop, your Windows laptop, or and whatnot. So it feels like a native application itself. It has its own windows. It works offline. It have access to powerful capabilities. You pretty much have the best of both worlds, and this is what we are trying to achieve with PWA. So how do we achieve PWA in that sense? So PWA basically constitute of wide collections of technologies, various web APIs and stuff. But one of the more important or more prominent technology that is part of PWA is the service worker itself. So simply put, service workers are basically just a type of workers that serve the explicit purpose of being a proxy in between browsers and the network. Yeah, so it's just basically just a JavaScript that gets registered in the browser, and it stays registered in the browser even after it's offline, after the device lost connectivity. And it can also be used to handle requests, handles connections, even there's no connections by itself. So as we mentioned, usually when you go to the browser, you type in a URL, you type in a web addresses, then you will the browser will actually try to fetch the content from the servers based on the URL that the user provides. Then the remote servers return it to the browser pass and render it to you, and this is basically how a typical request and response work. In the form of service worker, basically what you when you actually registered a service worker to it, it kind of jump in between the client and the server, in between the process itself. So what it does is that it basically in the browser itself, it intercepts the request and the response as well to help you do things that basically lets the developer decide what to do with the request and the response itself. You can either show the remote versions in full, or you wanted to make part of it the cache versions or show the offline version entirely. It's really up to you. By doing this, it gives you the capability to prevent this ugly offline page stuff. Some of the characteristic of service worker includes things like, say, for example, service worker cannot access the DOM itself, the document object itself. The only way the service worker and the page can communicate is used via this thing called a post message. Yeah. So by and large, to sum it up, service worker is a script, a proxy that intercepts both request and response and lets you manipulate those requests and response so you can provide advanced capability to your website. Now, a service worker has something we call the life cycles to it. The life cycle is basically once you register, it tries to pass the script, and then it tries to install for you. And then after install, it tries to activate the service worker. Once it's activated, then you can start to receive events like fetch and all this sort of requests. We don't have to go too deep about it, but I just want to give you an idea of what service workers looks like. Now, in the basically how you register a service worker is very simple. In your main JavaScript file, you would actually just check if service worker is in the navigator object itself. It means to say to see if the browser actually supports service worker. And then if it does, all you have to do is register a service worker sw.js or whatever name you want to call it into the browser itself. It's that simple. But the thing is, by writing the service workers syntax itself, it can blow up to be quite massive, quite a lot of things to handle. So the good things here is that there is this library called Workbox, actually helps you to handle all these situations. It provides you the boilerplate, the strategies, and various plugins you can use to handle this with very, very simple syntax, very best practices boilerplate as well. Right, let's take a moment. Now, having talked about PWA, service worker, and Workbox itself, we would like to talk about the more important content of the day. We'll just take a moment to talk about how various big sites around the world uses technologies like this, uses PWA to serve good experience for the users. Now, pattern number one. Pattern number one is basically we talk about resilient search experiences. So typically, when a user search on for a topic in a browser, using Chrome on Android particularly, and then it loses connectivity. Instead of the ugly dinosaur page when you search on Google, you will actually see a custom offline page instead. So this custom offline page, sorry, let me see how do I do this? Sorry, I have screen issues on my laptop. Give me a minute. Right, never mind, let's proceed first. So this custom offline page itself actually provide the information telling the users and saying that, hey, we have actually gone offline due to your connectivity issues, and they will also ask the user if you wanted to receive a notification of the search result when connection is available. This is where user can opt in for a notifications. So if the user accept the permissions, once the connectivity is back, they will receive a push notification informing the user that, hey, your search result is ready. I mean, we are ready to serve you now. And once users tap on the search result, tap on the notifications, they will be brought to the result screens of the area search query. Now, this is a really great way to keep the users engaged and also letting users complete the task they were trying to do before the disconnections. This also provides the kind of engagement that you wouldn't lose out your users along the way when they lose connections. You will still be able to re-engage your users. Now, at the heart of this implementation is basically the background sync API. This API actually allows you to defer any actions, and then until the users have stable connectivity, it will attempt to execute the actions as well. For more information about background sync API, you can use the plugin provided by Workbox, or you can also find out more information about background sync API. Workbox plugin also not only helps you to implement the background sync API, it also provides all the required fallbacks for browsers that does not support native background sync APIs. So basically, it can really be easily achieved with Workbox. First, we will just have to use network-only strategies for all actions. As you can see in Workbox itself, Workbox out of the box, it actually provides you the kind of strategies that is available to be utilized natively. So you don't have to write your own codes on this. You just have to new up a network-only strategies and pass in. So once we have decided on the strategies for search actions, we make sure that all the search queries go to the network only, meaning you say we always get the latest result from the internet. But we also pass in a background sync plugin to Workbox and say that it is used to handle the offline scenarios. Now, let's take a look at this, what this whole plugin looks like. Basically, when using this plugin, you have to provide a name, any name that you like, basically for you to refer to for the actions. We will also pass in a on-sync callback functions, which will be called once the connectivity is back back live and stable. Inside these functions, you can actually retrieve any field requests. You can process them. And then after the processing, you can do whatever actions you want. In this case, we are basically informing the users of the search result via push notifications. Another note to take notice on is a detail that you can notice. If when the users actually being asked for a permissions, it is good to ask permission at a time that user understand the value. In this case, when we were asking for web push notification permissions, because the users know, hey, I got offline and I will be able to get a search result or notifications once once I return online. So this is the time where user understand your value, and this also means to say you are actually providing a notification delivery timely and relevant. This is really a good example of implementation of push notification permissions. Right, so that it's pattern number one. Pattern number two is basically about adaptive loading with service worker. This will allow you to offer always a snappy, fast experience, regardless of the network of the device the users coming from. Now, Terra is one of the largest media sites in Brazil that has a large user base with both fast and slow connectivity. In Brazil, the connectivity versus city and rural area can be quite the different, if you will. So in order for them to ensure that they are able to provide reliable and fast experience to user regardless of the connectivity they come from and also the device capability they come from, they uses a combination of service worker and also the network informations APIs to provide different sets of content for different users. For the users coming from 2G and 3G connectivity, the website actually serves a lower resolutions of images to make sure that the experience is fast and snappy. And then for connection that actually offers high speed connections like 4G, the website actually serves a higher resolutions images to the user as well. In this case, we can ensure the experience is consistent. The only differences is that you probably get lower resolutions if your internet connectivity is slow, much like you would when you're watching a video on YouTube, right? So when they actually also took it to the next level by offering, instead of a conventional web HTML pages to their users, they also offer an AND versions for the connections coming from 2G and 3G connections. This will, since AMP website is actually known to offer a super lightweight and fast experience to the users. So this also take a step further by offering the best experience to the user. Now, for how they achieve it with Workbox is very simple. What they do is they actually uses cache first API to cache all the images that is being served. And then they will actually use an expiration plugin and then also with a maximum entries of 50 to limit the number of entries the cache will be allowed. And what happens next is that they actually we can actually provide a custom plugin. So in Workbox itself, instead of the plugin that Workbox provide, we can also extend it by writing our own custom plugin. In this case, we'll call it the adaptive loading plugins. Now, this plugin will offer the, sorry, just give me a minute. Let me just change. So this plugin will allow us to intercept the request. And then in the request itself, we can decide based on the network connection, network connectivity type. We can say, hey, if it's a 3G connection, then we will actually add in an additional parameters, like for example, low quality or low res. And then we create a new URL and pass on return the new URL. So what will happen is that the browser will try to fetch response based on the new URL instead of the original URL. This will allow the web server to return the lower resolutions images instead, for example. And there are many things you can do. It's really up to you how you want to handle the situation. In this case, we are just showing how to manipulate images sizes. Now, of course, if you are Cloudinary users, instead of writing your own plugin, they also provide a Workbox plugin that you can use right out of the box itself. Cloudinary is basically a image management service. Come with CDNs, asset management, compressions, manipulations, and not only images but also videos. Yeah. Now, if you notice this now, basically what happened is that we actually uses both the original plugins, by Workbox itself, the strategies. But at the same time, we also allow or extend the functionality by using custom plugins. It means to say it's really up to us how we wanted to handle this thing with no constraint by you can do more than what is provided actually. Yeah. So the third pattern we wanted to talk about, it's called the instant navigations experiences. As you know, whenever we go to a website, when we click on any other links, it tries to fetch the connections from the servers and then uses navigation request and then to return the response. So to ensure that this response is always the latest, what we do is that we uses navigation request headers like cache control with no cache or maximum age of 0. This will ensure the result is always the latest, because we don't want to be showing our users all results, past results, right? However, how we can actually allow us to improve the experience is basically as we mentioned just now, because every of the link that we click on, it actually go through the request response cycles. Each page can basically takes more significant time to load, and we can actually handle the situation with service worker as well, or Workbox in these situations, using this this method called prefetching. Now, prefetching is a very it's a common thing that we have been doing. It's basically in your page, in your web page itself, you only have to use the prefetch and pass in the ref attribute, and to allow us to prefetch the pages that we wanted to. So for this e-commerce website, for example, they actually prefetch the next page that the user will be visiting upfront. So whenever the user tap on the next page itself, the next page is loaded near immediately. So this will provide a very, very fast experience to the user as well. This use case is not limited to just e-commerce site particularly. For example, VSport is one of the larger sport media sites. Actually, when you go to the website itself, they have already started to prefetch the most popular pages in readily for you to access. With this, it actually resulted in about 78% faster in terms of the speed itself, and also increased the article impressions of the website by 45%. If you look at how to implement this, if you from a HTML standpoint, all you have to do is simply pass in the prefetch attributes itself, and then it will try to fetch this content, these documents at the lowest priority, meaning to say after the whole page request is being fulfilled, only they try to prefetch this document for you and only cache it for you for up to 5 minutes itself. Now, we can further extend this functionality with a workbox or service worker in this sense. In this case, we actually try to intercept all HTML. And then we uses this still while revalidate strategies. Still while revalidate strategy basically means to say that it will always try to use the cache content first while they are trying to fetch this the latest content through the network connections itself. And with Workbox itself, we can actually expand the 5 minutes prefetching limit by provided by the browser in HTML to more than what we want. In this case, we can actually extend the age to up to 30 days. So whenever users come to the page itself, whenever they click on it, the latest page is always in the cache readily to be used. Once the page is served, they will also try to validate the later versions and provide it to the user itself. So this definitely is a very, very powerful pattern that you can apply to your web page. Because as we mentioned just now, service worker, you are unable to actually manipulate DOM. So in order for you to pass, allows for communication within pages and service worker, you can actually use the module called Workbox Windows with the link provided here. So all in all, these are some of the patterns that we can use. And the last pattern that we wanted to talk about today is the app shell UX with service worker. So as you all know, I'm sure since you are in this live, I'm sure you are aware of this site called Dev. So they are insanely popular blog site or media sites for developer like us. Now, their current architecture is basically a multi-page architecture, meaning to say every page you go, it actually loads a new page itself. But they are very interested in the new app shell models that can allows them to provide similar to single-page applications experiences by using this application shell model. The idea is very simple. So the idea is that we actually separate the page into a few different parts, and then for example, in this case we have a shell top HTML partial, and then we have a shell bottom HTML partial. What we can do with this is that we can have a combination of cache and also live documents. So in this case, we can cache the shell and all the shell's documents, and then only serving the content, which is the orange part, with the live content only. This greatly reduces the amount of information that is required to transfer through the network connections through the HTTP request. And the best part is we can also use the streaming modules provided by the Workbox to implement these strategies. Having done this, it will allow you the whole page to be Pane even when the first byte is ready. How to do this is same thing again. We try to intercept all the HTML's pages, and then we use these strategies to compose the strategies that pass in an array of the partials itself. The first one I can see, we try to cache the shell top and cache the shell bottom itself, but we only wanted to make sure that the content is actually using the network first strategy. This will ensure that we are always getting the latest content from the network itself. So we are serving the right content. All in all, these are some of the patterns that is being utilized by popular websites around the world. And I hope we can also try to utilize these strategies and utilize these technologies to make all of our website a greater one, providing greater experience to our user. This is basically a quick lightning talk to share with you about the idea. If you like to get your hands on to understand more, please go to this website, web.dev Progressive Web Apps or web.dev Reliable. This will provide you a lot more insights that you will need for the page, for the technology. So these are pretty much what we have. I hope we all learned something today on this Saturday. And should you need to talk to me anytime, I'm always available at mostly Instagram, so you can just reach out to me there. That should be all. Thank you very much. I'll pass the floor back to Luis and Rachel.
Guys, so anyone got any question? I saw the people ask, are we able to get the soft copy of the slide?
Yeah, for sure. We can pass it to you guys so you can share it with your audience.
Yeah, okay, right. So anyone still have the question? Don't be shy.
Yeah,
right.
No
So we need to thank. Right. So we need to thank Vin Lim. Okay. So now, okay. Thank you very much.
Pangkang.
All right. So, right. So now we pass to another speaker. She's Jesselyn Yin. So say hi.
Hello, you can see my screen. See my entire screen. Okay, can see. Hello.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, can.
See. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Still morning, right? Okay. Very little people join. You all eat breakfast already or not? We do a casual one. So if you have anything want to say, you type in the comment. We will slowly, every time after I talk, then I come and check whether you got say something or not. Okay. Now I'm testing my new mic. If you can see in the photo. So my voice nice or not? Very hard doing live event. Don't know the audience expressions. Okay, so today I will talk about what's new in Devtools and Puppeteer. So my name is Jesseline. So if you want to follow me, don't follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. That one is my Twitter handler here. Okay. Okay. So first thing, do you know how long how frequent Chrome will release? Any answer? Any guess? 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 month, 5 month? How frequent Devtools will release? Okay, I see got people say my today got selfish. My mic nice. Okay, so Devtools, right? So Chrome, right? Every 6 weeks we will have a new Chrome. So means, right, every 6 weeks we will have a new Chrome Devtools as well, a new release. So in every 6 weeks means about 1.5 months. So 1 year you can get about 8 new Chrome release if you're lucky, no virus or anything, because virus will get some delay, right? Okay, and also, do you know, because every 6 weeks we have a new release, right? So every 6 weeks we will have new articles sharing about what is new on Chrome Devtools. So if you go to developers.google.com, then, or you just Google Chrome Devtools, then you can find. Go to this page. Then there's a what's new tab here. From here you can see what is the new feature from a list of new feature that's available. So if you are busy, you don't want to click in the link, this is a summary law. Very easy. But if you want to know what is new, then you just click in and see what is new. Okay, so basically the thing that I will be going to talk today, right, is all available here already. But I will highlight a few one that I think you might be interested to know. Okay, the first one. If you open your Chrome Devtools recently, right, you will realize there's one banner tell you that, oh, there's some issue happen. So we include a new issue tabs in the recent release. So what is the new issue tab? Oh, by the way, if you have any question to ask, you can either ask in the chat, or if you want to post question here. Actually, I shared this yesterday. No one post question. That's so sad. Then you directly ask in comment. Then we check in the comment. No need to check this thing already. Okay. So what is the new issue tabs about? So let's say, right, in this page, when I refresh, so on right hand side, this is my Devtools. When I refresh, right, you can see issue detected, the new issue tab display information about blah 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 blah. Means, right, previously for all the warnings, right, we will just show in your console here. So sometimes you might get a lot of cookies error or whatever warning that you might need some help to fix. But there's too many already. Like one page when you load, there's multiple. Like this page I show you because I show you a little one. So now we're moving all this warning to the new issue tab. So when you click go to issue, right, then you can see, oh, now we don't append here anymore. We put it here. Then if you click here, you can see that, oh, what is the resource that get this error? There's 2 resource get this warning, and then what you can do if you want to learn more and blah, and what you can do. Okay, so you can do this. So there are people recently complaining in Twitter that, oh, this just now the issue tab, the banner is very annoying, because every time you refresh your page, you will get that. Because there's quite a few complaints. So then we decide we remove that. So now you see, you refresh the page again, the banner doesn't show. Okay, but if you close the Chrome Devtools, you reopen it, then it will show again. So if you don't want to keep seeing this every time, you just click one time and then you don't close your Devtools for now. For the next release or for the coming release, we will improve this design even more and give you even more helpful information to solve your site warnings. Okay, any question? Today fish. Okay lah, today finish selling fish, of course fresh ma. Okay, so so that's the issue tab. Let's go to the second one. Okay, the second one is the audit panel. So last time we called the audit panel, but inside the report is actually a lighthouse report. So we thought maybe we rename it to the lighthouse. We call it lighthouse panel now. So it's lighthouse is lighthouse, so it's easier to understand. So let me show you the lighthouse panel. Okay, so if you open here, right, scroll bigger. So there's no more audit. We call it lighthouse now. But there's a few more improvement that we do for lighthouse. So when you generate the report, right, we introduce 3 new metrics to help you measure your site performance. So what are the 3 new metrics? One of it is called largest contentful pane. And then another one is called cumulative layout shift. And then one more is called total blocking time. So these are the 3 new metrics that will show you and also help you to measure your site performance. So what exactly these 3 metrics is? So let's talk about it one by one. So largest contentful pane. So what is the largest contentful pane? Means the largest part of your page that show to the user, which take the browser to paint it off. So which part of your page is the largest contentful and how much time it took to load the largest content, the largest part of your content. So the good measure, let me see here. So largest contentful pane is also called LCP. So it's about measuring your loading performance. So LCP should occur 2.5 seconds when the page start loading. So in my case here, because this page has nothing, so it's 1.0. That's why it's showing green. Okay. So the other one is called cumulative layout shift. So what is cumulative layout shift? CLS are very hard to pronounce. So CLS okay. So CLS, right, is, you remember if you go to some news website or others website, right, when you go in, there's a pop-up here. Suddenly when you look at the content, suddenly one pop-up show on the top, and then your content get pushed down. And then suddenly the image, maybe you are reading, somehow scrolling, and then suddenly there's an image loading. Maybe you don't see the image loading because it's showing. Then suddenly the image pop up, and then your content get pushed out, and then your eyes level get straight. Hey, where's my content again? So those are the thing when your content is shifting, right, moving here and there, right? So that's called layout shift. So by right, a good user experience is that your page have less visual shifting. Okay, so now Chrome help you to measure that. Let me see here. Okay, so it's measuring the visual stability. Okay, so if you want to provide good user experience, your page should maintain a CLS less than 0.1 second. So means just now that site is 0 because there's nothing to shift. Okay, so which is good. And then the total blocking time. The total blocking time is the content of your page, your JavaScript, like how long it takes, how long it's blocked before your content get loaded. Okay, so that's total blocking time, TBT. Okay, so these are the 3 new metrics we add in the Lighthouse report to help you measure your page performance. And also we changed some of the metrics to calculate the scoring. So if you want to know in detail, right, because very long to tell, we have articles. What's new in Lighthouse 6? See, it tell you like step by step what are all the new improvement of Lighthouse 6. So you can read about that if you are interested. And just now, why do we introduce like these 3 these new metrics, right? So this new metrics is something we call Web Vital. So what is Web Vital? So Web Vital means it's vital for the web to survive, for your page to give good experience, right? So Web Vital is an initiative by Google to provide guidance, like provide you some quality signal that is essential for you to deliver good user experience on the web. So basically it's to help you to deliver a good experience to your user. Okay, so that's the Lighthouse improvement. Okay, let's go back to the comment. Any question? 3, 2, 1. Okay, next feature. Accessibility info in inspect. So accessibility is important. It's important for everyone. So now when you inspect the element, right, we add in this accessibility information. So for you to easier to know the if your website has good your element has good accessibility support. So what do we mean by inspect? If you click on this button here, you go and inspect this element. You see the hover. You see this accessibility when I hover to this this element, right? There's this new section, accessibility, and tell you that whether this image have a name, have a role, and then whether it's keyboard focusable or not. Because some of the user might prefer keyboard navigation, or some have to use keyboard navigation, can only use keyboard navigation. So to help developers to know whether your element is keyboard focusable is also important. So we provide you different accessibility information depends on the object law. Okay, this depends on the element. Okay, any question? I go back. Guys, free to ask question. Yeah, no one ask question. Live event also no one ask question. We see each other face to face also no one ask question one. Need to force, then only got people ask question one. Aye. Okay, next, layout shift. So just now we talk about the layout shift, like how big your layout is shifting here and there, right? So in Devtools, we added one things to help you check which are the areas that have the layout shifting. So for example, here if you go to more tools and you click rendering, so this is the rendering tab. So from here, right, there's one thing called layout shift region. It will help you to highlight the area of the page in blue color that was shifted. So which part of it is shifted, it will highlight it. But it's also mentioned here may not suitable for people prone to photo-sensitive epilepsy. So means that if you have you are prone to that, then you don't enable it. But so now I just want to demo to you, so I will enable it, and then I refresh the page. So this one nothing happened because there's no layout shift. So I go to my personal website that have layout shift one. I show you. See. So it show this color because like these are the region that got layout shift. So if I go to my blog, right, so this whole region, because the content like populated or once the page loaded, so it will have layout shift. So it's show you that this whole region have some layout shift. Not necessarily is an issue, just tell you that this area is got some layout shift. Okay, so if you disable that, then you don't see that again. Okay, so to help you identify which part of your page have layout shift. Okay, no question? Okay, continue. Okay, so what if you have issues you want to report to Devtools, you want the Devtools team to work on, right? So the easiest way is you can complain in Twitter. Don't complain in Twitter lah, but if you want, you can complain in Twitter. I will see your Twitter message if you tag me or you tag Chrome Devtools. Okay, another way you can do a proper way is here in your Chrome Devtools, this 3 dot here, just go to help because you need some help, right? So you go and report a Devtools issue. Then you will open a page. You need to log in. Then you put in what is your issue, and then we will what is the step to reproduce it. Then we'll look into that. Okay, so this is how you can report issue to us and for the team to help you because we fixed the issue, then you are happy. Okay. Okay. Bonus. So bonus, this is the thing that haven't come yet, but it's coming soon. So in Chrome Canary, right? In Chrome 85, now if you check your Chrome, version, right? The stable one that maybe most of you all use. is Chrome version 84. Okay, so there's one feature that I put in version 85, so it's coming soon. It's called, I think this is a good feature lah. Okay, so let me show here, inspect. Okay, so let's say I go to my page. Okay, so let's say now, I find that this, I want to share to my friend. These articles look nice. I want to share, but I don't want to share. I don't want to copy the link and share. I just want to share the whole photo, and then send to my friend like a good summary lah. So what can I do is I can select this. I open the Devtools. I select the element. I right click it. Then what I can do is I can capture note screenshot. Means I just capture the screenshot of this element. So if I click it, then it will download a screen capture lor. Then you open, this is nicely your screen capture of that element. Good or not? Good. Put some hand clapping in the chat. Hello, Ruben. Okay, so this is one of the features that's coming soon. It's Chrome 85. Actually, previously, right, you also can do it, just that it's not as easy as right click, capture note screenshot. So what I do is adding this shortcut. The other way that currently, if Chrome 84, you want to do that, right, you can do that, but you need to remember the shortcut is Command-Shift-P. When you type Command-Shift-P, right, then you open this command panel. If you are on Windows, I think you should type Control-Shift-P. So it will open this command panel, and then you can type capture screenshot. Then you say capture note screenshot or capture full size or capture area screenshot. It will do the same thing. Just that you need to remember the shortcut key to do that. So for those people like me have limited memory, it's good that you can just right click and then click on something. Okay. So this is one of the bonus that is coming soon in 2 weeks. I think in 2 weeks we will have a new, should we have a new Chrome? Yeah, Chrome release. Okay, so there are more, there are more like Chrome features that's new. I will also still mention some of it here, but let me quickly jump into Puppeteer. So Puppeteer, how many of you heard about Puppeteer? Raise your, no need to raise your hand. I cannot see your hand. Okay, good. Okay. So Puppeteer is a programmable, so you treat it as an API to control the browser. So for example, you can use Puppeteer to control your Chrome browser and then to program it. What are the things that you want to automate and you want to do? So let me quickly show you an example here. So if you want to use Puppeteer, what you do is you go and search for in npm, and then you npm install Puppeteer. So once you install it, right, you create a JavaScript file, and then you just this is the first line. You require the Puppeteer, which means you import it, and then wait. Okay. Is it there? Oh, okay. Sorry, emergency. Change my slide here. Okay, continue. So once you require it, the next step is you wait for it to launch. So when you call puppeteer.launch, it will actually launch a Chrome browser for you. Okay. Then you say that, you want to open a new page from the browser. Then once you open the browser, you say, please go to this page, web.dev.live. And then another thing that you can do is you can take a screenshot, page.screenshot, and then where do you want to save the screenshot. So there's a lot of things. So whatever thing that you can do for the browser, you can basically do by writing a program like this to automate it. So for example, you want to scrap some website data, right? You can just go and then write the code to click next, and then take some screenshot or save some data. So you can use Puppeteer to automate all these steps. And then after that, you just close your browser. Okay, so it's very convenient. You can even save your file as PDF. Okay, so these are some of the existing features. Then what are the new features that you can do? Okay, so just now I didn't mention to emulate in Chrome DevTools, right? Also, we have a feature to help you emulate the page color scheme. So what do we mean by page color scheme? Okay, let's look at here. Don't look at my page lah, although my page also support that. Look at V8 page, for example. So in this page, actually this page support light theme and or dark theme. So your browser currently actually also support that. So in your Chrome Devtools, if you open the 3 dot more and then you click rendering, it will open this rendering tab. If you're wondering how to open, but I already opened here. Then here, what we add here is you can emulate CSS media preferred color scheme. Okay, so what does it do? You can say that, oh, my current page, I want to render it in light theme, or I want to render it in dark theme. So basically this preferred color scheme, right? So the page by default follow your system setting. System means your operating system setting. So I'm currently using Mac, means that if I'm a developer, right, I want to test whether my page work properly in light theme or dark theme based on the OS setting, right? It's very hard for you to test. So browser, the Chrome Dev to actually add in this option to help you emulate that, so that you don't need to go to your OS and set the light theme and dark theme, every time. So you just need to emulate it as if OS setting, and then we will render the page accordingly for you if your page support light theme or dark theme. Okay, so with this feature, right, means you can do it manually here, means also you can do it programmatically in Puppeteer. So let's go back to the Puppeteer code. I think I messed up my presentation here. Okay, correct. Just misplaced that one. So this is how you can do it. So for example, you go to V8 page and then you say, wait for the page to emulate the media features, like how I showed just now. I manually click it, pass in the name of the features that you want to emulate, and what is the color. So what is the value? So we have light and we have dark. So in this case, right, I can automate it to take a screenshot so that I can compare whether both light and dark theme show up correctly or not. You can have other tools to compare the image. So that's how you can use Puppeteer to automate this as well, besides clicking manually on Devtools. Okay, next thing, wait, I drink some water first. Anyone got anything to say in comment? Okay, got clap. Anything to say? By the way, I still have an angular cup here, if you see. Okay, no one say anything. Let me continue. So another thing you can do in Devtools is called emulate locals. So what is emulate locals? Cals or curls or anything lah. You understand what I mean lah? Okay, so emulate locals means so sometimes we want to test our page actually support multiple time zones. So we base on the current user's time zone and then we show the time information. So to give you an example, if you go to web.dev/live, web.dev/live. Why my hand cannot type properly. Okay, so when you see here, right, you see like my time zone here is showing Asia Kuala Lumpur because currently I'm in Asia Kuala Lumpur, right? So what if so how do I know? Like I know that when I develop this page, I know that this will properly show up for Malaysian, but I also want to localize this time because I set it automatically. So if you are in Thailand, for example, this probably will show at 11 p.m. because Thailand is one hour before us. So how do you know that this page will show properly in Thailand? So and one thing that you can do is you go and change your OS setting, or you change your OS setting, change it to Thailand time. If you want to test US, then you change your OS setting to test US time. But it's very tedious, right? You need to go and change your system setting. So what Chrome do is we offer you an options to emulate the locales. So where do you emulate the locales? Go here, more tools, and then go to sensor. Okay, you can override your location. So for example, we want to change it, we want to see like how the time look in Tokyo lah. So let's say we say that I want to change now, my location is Tokyo. Then if I refresh, you see the time actually showing in Tokyo time. See? Here. Okay. So now you might have question. So what if I see this location here, I only see Berlin, London, or all those famous city. I don't see, for example, I'm in Bangkok. Don't know if Henry is watching or not, my friend. Okay. So if it's Bangkok, right, then it's not here. So how can I add that? So one way that you can do is you click manage. If this is a frequent location, then you just add law. You say Asia, let's say put in Bangkok. Okay, I haven't tested it before, but I think it will work. Okay, so let's add it and then let's close it. Now in location here, I can choose Bangkok. Okay, let's refresh this page. Okay, so it's not called Asia Bangkok. Okay. Okay. This is good because we always have some. Okay. I think I add wrongly. The Asia Bangkok should be showing there. So I add it here. Because Asia Bangkok is the time zone ID. We need the time zone ID in order to render the location. So this name you can put this anyway, like you can put Bangkok or something. Doesn't matter, but the time zone ID have to be correct. So let me save it. Okay, test again. Yeah. Refresh the page again. See, it will show 11 p.m. because just now if I go back to no override, in Malaysia time is 12 a.m. So Bangkok is 1 hour before us, so it will show 11 p.m. So this is how you can emulate and then test your location easier. Okay, so a good way to use it. So in Puppeteer, you can use Puppeteer to control this as well. Where is my slide? Okay, so this is how you can use Puppeteer to control it. You can say await page for the page, please emulate the time zone for in America or emulate the time zone for Asia, Kuala Lumpur. Just pass in the time zone ID and then wait for it to evaluate and then get exactly what is the time for the for the event. So you can do that. Or another things that you can do is you emulate the time zone like the page just now, because you want to take a screenshot of the schedule, right? Then after that, you can emulate the time zone first, and then you say you go to this page, and then you find the element of the page, because in Puppeteer, you can select the element like jQuery can select by $, select it, and then you screenshot it, take a screenshot of the schedule, and then save it, and you can send in for your friend in Tokyo, for example, if they want to know exactly the event happened in their time. So it's very convenient. So it's up to you how you want to use the API. We just provide you. So hopefully you can do something useful with that. Okay. So another thing that Chrome Devtools offer is emulate vision deficiency. So maybe you don't know, there is, I forget the exact statistic, but maybe people around you as well have some vision deficiency. So for example, you maybe have friends that cannot see red color. Okay, that's quite often, like maybe one of the color, RGB, right? Red, green, blue. There are some people cannot see red color. There are some people cannot see blue color. There are some people cannot process green color, for example. So when we create the website, right, you sort of want to create your website by choosing the right color contrast so that this website looks okay looks good for normal people, but you need to sort of cover the vision deficiency case as well. You have to provide like decent color contrast. So in Chrome Devtools, you can emulate that. So open the rendering here. We can help you to understand. So there are vision deficiencies. So for example, if this your page, right, how your page appears to people with vision deficiency here. So if I click blurred vision, so people with some blurred vision, right? If I click here, you see that your whole page now rendering in a blurred vision. Okay. Or if you have protanopia. So protanopia is, I forget which color that cannot process, but you can search about it. So deuteranopia, and then these are all different visual deficiency. So you can check it and then try. You can experiment that by trying to turn it on one whole day and then browse your company website, or just do it during your development. Then you see whether this color looks okay, appeal to you. So if it's not, then your designer can do something on it. So it's very useful for you to even take a screenshot and then compare it during your unit testing or end-to-end testing time. Okay. So if you want to programmatically run it, you can do it. So just call page.emulate vision deficiency and then pass in what are vision deficiencies that you want to render: blurred vision, achromatopsia, and the other one. And then you just save, and then you can choose to save a screenshot as well. Okay. Any question now? Need to set LUT length? No need. So as I showed you just now, you can choose to set latitude and longitude, but you can also just pass in the time zone ID. Okay. Okay, so just now go back to my first example for Puppeteer. Just now in my first example for the Puppeteer, right, is I show you, you can launch, you can set a new page, you can go to the page and you can take screenshot and then you close it. Now give me some drum beat. I drum myself. There's this new feature which you can launch not Chrome but Firefox as well using the same API that we provided just now. So how you can do it is, but this currently is under experimental. So they are still Chrome team and Firefox team is still working on to make the Puppeteer compatible for Firefox. But it is in a good progress. So what you can do is you can pass in launch product. So now you pass in product, Firefox will launch Firefox for you instead of Chrome. Good, right? So if you want to test like cross browser, Chrome, Firefox. So if you ask me whether Safari is in, currently it's not in, but we are working with different browser to different browser engineers or the open source community to try to bring all possible browser to share this Puppeteer API. Okay. And then the last one. So these are some of the features that we are still working on. There are people that maybe some of the, so we have this selector to have you select ID or an element in the page and then do the things you want, right? But sometimes it's not that sophisticated. So for example, sometimes you might want to find element with text caret. So how you can do it, you need to write probably a very long way, like, because there's no proper ID, right? Then, but there's also no text selector CSS. So what you can do it is, currently we are trying to add on some custom handler. So for example, this has text is a custom handler. So next time you can maybe call this element, say that I want to find element that has this caret text, or you want to find something in a custom shadow, want to find some CSS class in the shadow DOM. Currently you cannot do it, but we are thinking to add this custom handler to help you to do it. This is still under experimental. So if you are interested to know about the progress, go to Puppeteer GitHub and then try to give comment or see what is the progress there. Okay, so in summary, these are some of the new features in Puppeteer. There are something that you can see like on the left-hand side here, media features, time zone, vision deficiency. All this is the improvement that you can see. But on the background, we also do a lot of things to make sure that the code is healthy and easier to develop. So we also port the Puppeteer code to TypeScript. We put in more test runner and then the CI improvement as well. And we put in better documentations for developer to use it. Okay. So these are, so I have covered what is new in Devtools and what is new in Puppeteer. That's all for my talk. Do you have any question? Let's see the chat here. Any comment?
Guys, got any question?
No comment, then I need to go and eat early. Hungry.
Okay. All right. All right. So we need to thanks Jaslyn. Yeah, the topic is very interesting, and yeah, give me some time. I need your help to. I need all of you help me to. Right. So I need all of you to help me fill up the feedback forms, and yeah, so you all can see in YouTube channel there or the in Facebook page there. So you see the post comment box there. Yes, we need your help to fill up the feedback forms. Can let us to improve lah.
Okay.
All right.
Go down, right? Okay.
Wait, okay. All right. So thanks you all joining us. And then guys, next time don't be shy. Any question can ask. All right. So and also I need to thank William and Jocelyn spending time with us, and any new events update we will announce in our Facebook page. So and then today the speaker slide we will share later lah. So all right, so thank you all. Hi.
All right, thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you guys. Hi, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Hey. All right, thank you.